Today I'm doing some on-air coaching with one of the members of the Resource Academy, Michelle at Thinking Math Corner, and we do a deep dive into several of her products. We look at her data and we even talk about ways that she can grow and expand outside of TPT. It's a great way for you to see how to look at the data, the resources in your store, and make improvements. So I hope you enjoy this episode. Let's dive in. Welcome, Michelle. I'm so glad you're here.
Thanks for having me, Lindsay. I'm super excited.
Me too. So tell everyone a little bit about yourself. If you're still in the classroom, how long have you been on TPT, those kind of things.
I'm still in the classroom full time. I have been teaching for over 20 years. And my claim to fame as a teacher is that I've taught everything from primary to grade 12, with the exception of grade 2.
Wow.
As I like to say, I'm not going back to that.
I don't blame you.
All right. I just started on TPT last July. So it's been just a little over a year. And I am focused entirely really on developing math resources that focus on the thinking aspect, on the reasoning, the problem solving, all of those soft skills that are so important for students to have.
I love that. And how are you feeling right now about your TPT store?
I feel like it's doing well, like it's set up well. The Resource Academy has been amazing for that. I'm that person who I don't try to do it myself. I try to look and figure out how to do it right the first time, or at least the second.
Yeah.
And so that's been great, but I don't feel like I'm getting the traction or the traffic views. For it. I feel like people who are coming to my products are enjoying them. I'm getting great reviews. I'm getting lots of traction that way, but not a lot of repeat buyers and not a lot of traffic in terms of the number of views in the stats.
Gotcha. And tell me some of the things that you have been doing. I know you sent the information over, but just so the listeners can hear, what have you been doing as far as optimizing your resources? And then also, have you been doing anything outside of TPT?
In terms of optimizing my resources, I went through in about February and worked with a professional to get a mini brand refresh so that I could get things tied in a little bit better. I felt like it was looking a little beginner-ish. So I wanted to make sure so I got that, and I've gone through all but I think 2 of my resources on the store have been fully updated with the branding. I've gone through and SEO optimized my titles. The only thing I don't do, and it's a deliberate, conscious decision for me, but it may be something that I need to change, and I look forward to you telling me about that, is I don't include grade levels in my titles.
Okay.
And the main reason is because I'm in Canada, and our curriculum versus the US curriculum is different. And so I don't want to target only one group. So if I say it's a grade 6, well, that might be grade 8 here.
Gotcha.
Or so, especially with math topics, they tend to be fairly diverse in terms of there's some things we do in grade 10 that some places in the States, especially in Common Core, will do in grade 7 or 8. So there's things like that I haven't included. I've been working really hard on the thumbnails and the previews and getting everything consistent and make sure that it's appealing to the buyer. So I've done a lot of work around that, but I certainly need to make sure that it's being effective.
That makes sense. And then as far as outside of TPT, have you done anything there?
Yeah. So this summer, when I've been off, I have kind of dove in the deep end a little bit. It just happened. So I have created my website. I started a blog. I started YouTubing. I just started very preliminary, just a Facebook page, not a group, but just a page.
And you have an email list, correct?
I do have an email list. I have about a little over 1,500 people on the list.
That's amazing.
And those are nice, warm leads, people who are engaging and that sort of thing. So that's been really lovely.
Awesome. Okay. So you are absolutely on the right track. So I think it's just going to be a few tweaks to help you get to that next level. Because I saw that you sent over your goal is 500 a month, which is very doable with the amount of resources that you have in your store and the quality of the resources that you have in your store. So what I would love to do is let's start by looking at your store. And then I also pulled up your top 3 sellers And then let's talk about, you were asking about repeat buyers. So I want to talk about that. And then finally, I wanted to talk about your email list and kind of the outside of TPT strategies. I'm going to share her beautiful TPT store. Can you see that, Michelle?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so first of all, your store is beautiful. I love the banner. I can definitely tell that like this is top notch. And you got some professional help, which I love because I am not like a graphic designer. So I always get help when I need graphic design stuff. It looks beautiful. I love it. I think it's great. I think one of the questions that you had was, does your store show that, you know, this is not just skill and drill, this is more deeper, higher level thinking? And I think it definitely does with the banner and with the types of activities that you were listing. I definitely think that comes across, and even your store name. I think that's awesome. One of the things, and this might be one that you're talking about hasn't been updated. Is this one that hasn't been updated, this pink one at the end?
Actually, that's funny because that one actually has been updated.
Okay.
But I didn't quite, it looks, I'm not plainer, but it looks different than the other ones, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just the color. I think that if you would change this light pink to that dark pink and then change it, or any of these, I think these three are your bread and butter. That looks like a brand to me. The hot
Yes.
pink are kind of like, you know, the darker pink, the darker green, and then the cream.
Yeah.
I think that's one way that you can get repeat buyers is having a recognizable brand. And you do, except for like this, I think was one of the top sellers.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would, if I was just coming back to TPT and I had purchased one of these three, I wouldn't recognize this as your brand. Even though I know your logo is on there, but it's smaller. If I see one of these dark pink, I'm like, oh yes, I remember Thinking Math Corner. I liked her stuff. I want more of that. So I would make sure they all kind of have that vibe. So I just want to look at all of it. And also this yellow one here, I'm not sure if that was one that you hadn't updated yet, or if you were just using different brand colors.
Yeah. So what I was trying to do there, and maybe it hasn't been working, is my trig tends to be my dark green background.
Okay.
And my algebra tends to be my dark pink background.
Got it.
And then other things, I had the light pink and the mustard.
Yes.
But they do jar a little bit. So maybe.
Yeah, I feel like those two stick out and they don't look the same as the other brand color. So I would stick with this dark green, the cream, the pink, even the blue, I think goes. But then when you add the mustard in, it is pretty with the brand colors. But to me, I wouldn't recognize that as part of your brand. I would update these to be one of those other color schemes. But the rest all looked fabulous. I think your covers are great. I think your thumbnails look great and your previews all look great. I didn't have anything to add with that. So I wanted to look into the individual top sellers. So this was one that, first of all, this is a really cool idea. It's a different way or a cool way to teach an Algebra 1 topic. So I love this. I love that you have a video preview. I did notice that this one, you had a lot of views on it, but the conversion rate was lower. It wasn't a bad conversion rate. I think it was about 5%. But one thing that I thought on this one was the price might be a little high because I think I saw it was 7 pages. Let's see. I'm just going to look in here on your preview. It's basically like it's 6 worksheets in one blank. So I would probably lower that to 3 and see if your conversion rate increases because obviously people want this. Sometimes just changing it, that price a little bit could help. That's really the only thing that I think might be affecting the conversion rate on this one is the price because everything else looks really nice. It could also be that teachers just don't use this method to teach factoring trinomials. So maybe they're solving factoring trinomials and yours comes up and they're not necessarily searching the area model or the box method, but my inclination is that it's the price. So try that. You can always test it. You can always move it back up. No one's going to notice or get mad. And if they do, it's going to be fine. I've changed prices and tested things lower and higher, and I've never had anybody notice. So,
Perfect.
I would try that. Yeah, that was my only feedback on this one. This is another one, a math logic emoji puzzles. And this, again, I think it's the price. Now, this one really had a good conversion rate. So the thing with conversion rates are a lot of people will say, oh, I have a super high conversion rate. I need to increase the price. But for the amount of views that you have, I wouldn't do that yet. So this one, let me see, it had 12 task cards. I believe.
Yes. And I just recently posted, based on the fact that this was one of my best sellers, I created a whole product line
Love it.
with those.
Yeah.
And the other ones have 16. So this one
Okay.
only has 12, but the
Okay.
other ones have 16.
And what's the price for the 16 ones? The same?
The same.
Okay. So again, because we're in the same niche, I personally would price all activities like this at 3.
Okay.
That's typically what I see across the board. Task cards, scavenger hunts, games where it's multi-pages and not just like one maze. Typically I see 3. Again, this has a really high conversion rate. So maybe it's just that you need more eyeballs on it. And with that, if you already have optimized the title, you've already optimized the description. One thing I would do with this description is add some bolded text so it's easier to read. So solving systems of equations, I would bold that. I would bold the emoji themed logical reasoning to make it scannable. But outside of that, if you're getting a good rating on Seller Spy with your title, then it may just be that you just need more outside marketing for this, which we'll get to with the email list and sending more emails about this thing, especially if this is your number one seller, you're turning this into a product line, you're going to do a bundle, I'm assuming, then more eyeballs on it is going to help you. Now, I see you already have this in a bundle. You have a systems of linear equations bundle. Are you going to make a math emoji puzzle bundle?
So if you go back to my main storefront there, so I have, I think on the left-hand side where the category is there, the emoji logic puzzles.
Yes.
So what I did was in the attempt to, because I realized that I don't have any seasonal or holiday items there, so I'm not taking advantage of those pieces.
Yeah.
So I took the opportunity with the emojis to be able to create based on those. So my thought was to create a seasonal emoji puzzle bundle.
Okay.
And a holiday emoji bundle.
Two separate ones?
Well, I didn't know what to do with it, to be fair.
I would probably just do one bundle and you could call it holiday and seasonal. Well, as far as keywords go, I would probably put keywords like Halloween, like Christmas or winter, so that those will pop up. But yeah, I would put all of those in one bundle, not 2 separate bundles. Because when you start getting bundles, it's just hard. It's distracting for the buyers. Like, which bundle do I need? Do I already have what's in this bundle and then what's included in this bundle? It gets a little confusing.
Okay, so just have one for all of the emojis.
I would have one for all of them and just call it like Holiday Use Seller Spy to get a good title for that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Because when I went to go make the seasonal bundle, where I was able to, with the character count, I was able to put in all the 4 seasons in there.
Yeah.
And that bumped my keywords like crazy.
Yeah, I love that.
But
and I think the holidays can go in, and you can even include some of the holidays in the description.
Oh, true. Good
point.
So
you can hit all of them because the snippet of the description will still show up in the search.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. So you already have them all at 4. If they're selling well, let's don't change the price then right now. Let's just see if we can really push a lot of traffic to these. And this is going to give you a great content for your emails. Like, hey, Valentine's Day is coming up. Do you have something to do in your Algebra 1 classroom? Well, here, I have something for you. So every holiday, I would be emailing. I have this. I have this.
Okay.
I think that holiday activities, even in high school, are a game changer. My holiday activities sell really well, and I only have 2. I should make more.
Yeah, well, and it's in math, as you know, it's sometimes a little harder to take advantage of the season and holidays.
Right. Right.
So when I started looking at making this into a product line, I'm like, oh, that might be ideal. That's ideal because the content doesn't change. I mean, the systems change, but the idea stays the same.
Exactly. Yes. And this is practice that they need all year, no matter what holiday. So this is the perfect content for holiday activities, because sometimes people struggle with holidays. Like, what are they teaching during Valentine's Day? I don't know. But they're teaching this all year round, linear equation systems. This is things that they always need. So very smart. Okay. And then the other one that I saw, I believe this one had a lot of views, but not a great conversion rate. I think maybe I said that one about this one, but I actually think it was this one. These notes, let me see. This is the one that had 9 pages, I believe. I just want to make sure. It had 9 pages of notes plus answer keys.
Mm-hmm.
So your preview looks amazing. I love it all. I love the branding. So I think on this one, again, I think it might be the price. $9 for 9 pages of notes. For me, for 9 pages of notes, I would charge $4.50. I usually do 50 cents per page for high school math.
Okay.
And another thing that will do is that will make it fall into the 5 or under category.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously people are wanting this, they're looking at it, but I think that $9 for 9 pages is going to throw them off. I think $4.50 might help with this one.
Okay. And should it be, is it $5 and under, or is it under $5? Do you happen to know?
I'm pretty sure it's 5. And let me see. I'm just going to look right now. Under 5. So $4.99 or less. So I think $4.50 would be perfect.
Okay.
I typically don't do 99s because it just annoys
No.
me, but I think $4.50 would be fine.
Okay.
I like how you have the bolded here. I like how you have what each page of notes are, what's included. That's the only thing I think is the price on that one. Any other questions about your TPT store? Because I think other than that, you're doing a great job, and it's just going to be, it's going to take some time, and it's going to take maybe some outside marketing too if you want faster results.
Yeah.
Do you have any other specific questions about TPT before we talk about like email lists and YouTube and all of that?
No, I think that's great. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Okay, so your email list. I'm so glad that you have started an email list. You asked about how to get repeat buyers. I did see that you had included this. This is how to leave reviews. I love that. I will say reviews are slow. I'm sure you've already figured that out. I think only 7% of my buyers have left reviews over the years. I did want to mention, I don't know if this is supposed to be clickable, the one that you sent me. It wasn't clickable, but it might be if I open it outside of a browser.
Oh, okay. I'll check that though.
But check it. Yeah, check it just to make sure. But I love that. I love that you have that. I think that will help, but reviews are slow always. As far as repeat buyers, we already talked about the branding, making sure that it all looks the same, but having an email list is a great way to get repeat buyers because you can continually talk to them, nurture them. So I looked at your 3 lead magnets, which for those listening, that's just a freebie. And I think that the pages all look great. Just a couple of notes. On this one, I would call out math teachers because you only want math teachers on your list. So add that. Otherwise, you're going to get teachers that aren't interested in your TPT 7. You don't want them on your list.
No. They're not my peoples.
They're not your people. So be really clear as to who this is for. I might call them out here.
Okay.
In math teacher moves.
Right. Okay.
And then on this one, have your exclusive math rules poster toolkit. This one looked great. The only thing I was a little confused about is it says clear descriptions of each invisible math rule. Is that like on a different poster or?
There's a booklet that goes with it. So I've just got a PDF guide.
Oh, okay.
That takes each one and kind of takes it apart and why it causes problems and why they need it.
I love that. I might put that on the picture, on the mock-up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just like the cover of it so they can see that they're getting that too. Another thing on your buttons, I always like to have warm colors on your buttons, and you have that pretty pink color as part of your brand. I think you have it on this one. I would change all your buttons to pink, but I would make the text white.
I knew that as soon as you said it, I was like, oh.
High contrast. Yep. But this one looks incredible. Everything except for the white text, this one is perfect because you have math up here. I like the emojis to break it up. First thing, yeah, I like this, how it's like, because we've talked about this before in my email course, but the flow desk pages, getting the pictures right is a little tricky. So I like how this is, the picture's going to look fine no matter if they're on mobile or desktop. So I think that looks great. This is my favorite one by far. I think this is amazing. And I also think,
recent.
Yeah, and I think this will be the best to lead to your products in your store because you're talking about the capture the flag and like your top sellers that aren't just, drill worksheets, which is what your niche is all about. So let me ask you this. How often are you emailing your list?
I'm emailing my list currently probably 2 to 3 times a week.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay. How are your open rates?
My open rates are actually pretty, well, I think they're pretty good. I'm averaging around 50 to 60%.
Incredible. What about click-through rates?
I think my click-through rates are somewhere between 2 and 3%.
Okay. I like that.
Depending on the email.
Yeah, I think that's great. So it sounds like email marketing is going to be a game changer for your TPT store. When you are emailing, what are you emailing about?
So this is what I'm struggling a little bit with, because I feel like I'm kind of in perpetual pitch mode.
Yeah.
So I had a live workshop that I ran on Capture the Flag actually last night.
Okay.
And so I had been doing that. And then there was the back to school bonus sale with TPT. And so I feel like I'm not getting into a rhythm or providing enough value in terms of that.
Right. Okay.
So I'm struggling with how to, I guess, lay out. I tend to be a more visual, organized person and trying to figure out, okay, I was trying different days of the week to see in terms of open rates and that. And it doesn't particularly matter with my clientele as long as I don't try to hit them Monday morning.
Or Friday afternoon, never a good time to email.
Right? Sunday midday hits well, those are things. And I did add a link, and that's been really good for about 15 of my subscribers, that to say, I only want to hear from you once a week, which has been great, because that way, rather than them unsubscribing, I just make sure I don't hit them more than once a week with my emails. But I am struggling with how to organize my emails and figure out what do I email when, that sort of piece.
Yeah, I try to think of maybe like 4 pillars that I'm going to email about. So for you, it could be a classroom tip, like something that you're doing this week in your classroom that's working really well. One category, one pillar could be just straight sales, like here's a new activity, buy it. You could even try flash sales for those. So when you have a new activity, it's half off that day only. Give some urgency. Another pillar could be sending them to a blog or a YouTube video and seeing if they like that longer form content. And then a fourth one, which kind of could overlap with the first one, but like a story. So, I feel like in this age of AI and everyone has an email list and everyone has a business, especially teachers, humans are craving more humanness, and I've noticed when I tell stories in my emails, like personal stories, I get a really good response. And it's not always easy for me to be like vulnerable with people, but even it doesn't have to be like super serious or vulnerable, but even just, I'm really struggling with classroom management or something. Of course, you wouldn't like give any specific information, but any kind of personal thing, even outside of school, how it is to be a teacher and balance teacher life and outside of school life. And then you can always at the end, like, P.S. I have a new activity if you want to check it out here. So you can always sell in every email, or you can test out, not selling. I think it's just getting your customers accustomed to hearing from you on a regular basis, which it seems like you're already doing, which is fantastic. It always makes me worried when people are like, I email once a month. That's not enough. So you're doing a fantastic job of being consistent, but just allowing them to get to know you as a person and as an educator, get to trust you. And then that's going to help you so much as you expand. It sounds like you're already expanding to other things. You want to do a course? Do you want to do live workshops? Like, that is really how you're going to continue to build that customer trust factor, which is so important.
Okay. Yeah, no, I like the idea of the pillars, like that feels natural or and it's funny because I've always been a more masculine energy person in terms of, and so it never occurs to me really I'm like, well, why would people care what what I'm doing in real life? Yeah. And so it never sometimes occurs to me to include those things in emails.
Absolutely. There's a podcast episode, I don't know if you listened to it, that I did with Liz Wilcox, and she was on Survivor actually, which is really cool. But we can link that below. But if you have a chance this week, if you haven't listened to that one, listen to that, because she gives some really good tips about how to kind of tell just a short story, like not a long story, but just a short, like, this is what's happening this week. And then she does like a little transition, and then she does some selling. And the way she talks about it in that episode. It's just so natural and it doesn't feel too salesy, but it also keeps that personal touch. So check that one out. That's a really good episode.
I definitely will. I definitely will. And I don't know if I'm looking at this right, but I'm kind of thinking like in terms of flow of my business, I'm going, okay, I make my YouTube video, for instance.
Yeah.
I use that transcript to make my blog entries.
Yes.
And then linking them and leading them to my TPT store and to my course.
Yes.
Because I'm beta launching my course at the moment, Teach for Thinking. So more of a PD course for teachers.
Right.
And so I'm thinking to kind of, I'm kind of timelining it or sequencing it like that to be able to, for it to kind of start around the YouTube in separate from TPT.
Yeah.
And then, so emailing about those things.
Yes, that's so smart. Yes. I feel like you could probably take one YouTube video and make like 2 to 3 emails from it. You know, you can break up the content. You can test. Sometimes I'll just send like 1 to 2 sentence emails. No pictures. I know you're using Flowdesk, right?
Yes.
Don't use any of like the fancy templates. Use like the most basic one. No pictures, no logo, just like a couple of sentences. Test that. Sometimes those get really high open rates and really good replies if I ask them a question. We actually, I think I told you guys this on our subscriber to sales call, but just for everyone else to hear, we sent an email recently. It's called a 9-word email. I didn't get this from me. This is from Maria Went, who is an incredible business owner. And basically you just send your email list, this 9-word email that says, are you still interested in? And you could say, you know, high school math resources, or you could maybe do it more of like are you still interested in learning how to elevate student thinking, or, you know, something like that. Ask ChatGPT for help with wording that. But we got like 1,000 replies to that email, which was
my gracious.
Yeah, because it was the highest open rate we've had in maybe like 8 years.
Wow.
The subject line was just hi and their first name. So just having fun with emails and just testing and keeping track of the data as you're testing, which it seems like you're a data person, which I love. The worst that can happen is someone is going to unsubscribe and they're not your people.
This is it. Yeah.
So
yeah, I stopped looking at the unsubscribe.
Don't look at it. Yep. Don't look at it. So yeah, just have fun with your emails. I love that you're emailing consistently, but just try to incorporate more of that story, your personal classroom experience, your life outside of the classroom. I think that'll really help your customers trust you, especially as you dive into the world of course creation, which, you know, I love. So that's exciting. That's really exciting. You're doing an awesome job.
I'm trying.
You're doing great. You're doing great. Is there anything else I can help you with? Any other questions that you had?
I don't think so. I think this will help kind of get it there, because I do know that I need things outside of TPT, and I need to be able to, I have seen a pickup since most schools have gone in August. I have seen a pickup because I know that summers are going to be rough for my content area anyhow, because it's highly curriculum focused.
Oh yeah. My summers are pretty slow. So
yeah. So, I mean, you know, I don't have decor or planners or anything like that.
Right.
So it's going to be a little slow right now. So I'm looking forward to it picking up over the next few months.
Yes. Yeah. Email that list. Tell them what you're doing in your classroom. Update those few covers. Think about the pricing. You're doing fantastic. You know, you can always reach out to us as a member of TRA. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's been a godsend. And when I started, all I did was I would go through a video and I would create that product. Nice. And then I would go through the next video and I would create that product and get used to doing it. And it's been so wonderful. So
I love that. Well, you're doing amazing, Michelle. Just to wrap this up, can you just give any insight for anyone who's maybe on the fence for the Resource Academy? Any feedback or how things have changed since you've joined?
I would say don't wait. First of all, get in as soon as you can, or as soon as it's open. Make sure you take advantage of all the information that's on the Academy, all the videos and everything, because doing it right the first time is really key. And making sure you're reaching out in the Facebook group. The Facebook group is amazeballs. Love it.
My favorite part for sure.
Well, it's such a great spot. And if only to tell you, go back and watch the video.
Sometimes we have to say that, but
Oh no, I mean it's great stuff. No,
yeah,
absolutely. Because teachers, we don't always follow our own advice that we give to everyone else.
so true.
But my biggest advice would be to make sure you follow it and get started as quickly as you can.
Yeah, I agree. DIYing is slow and hard.
Oh my. And you and I like I'm in a number of Facebook groups, market research and for myself.
Yeah,
And it's amazing some of the questions. And I'm thinking, why are you trying to do this on your own?
yeah,
That's not me. When I was looking to start YouTube, I enroll in a YouTube course.
yeah,
Because I want to get as far as I can, as quickly as I can.
exactly. The speed, it makes all the difference.
Right. I'm not looking for the slow route.
Yes, I
It's
agree.
going to be slow enough without,
Exactly.
it's a
Exactly.
long-term game, right? So
Exactly. Totally agree. Well, thank you so much, Rochelle. I hope that these tips have been helpful, and I'll see you in the Facebook group.
thank you so much, Lindsay. I appreciate the feedback and I look forward to implementing it.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.